not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. But for unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required, and to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. So this parable is about the unfaithful servant. Of course, Peter asked Jesus, is this for just the disciples or all people? And Jesus answered him with a parable. He wants to find us with our work done, not getting ready. This reminded me of Matthew 25 with the foolish virgins and the wise virgins. They were to be ready to see Jesus, but instead they were not ready. As people of God, we have duties to fulfill, and there is so much more expected of us. Don't become complacent, but live in readiness, because we will be held accountable for our unfaithfulness. Whatever he's called you to do, you must do it. Whatever your hands find to do, do it with all your might. Jesus is looking for some people that is going to preach the gospel, that's going to go out to the highways and hedges and compel men to come into his house. He's looking for some faithful servants. He's looking for some faithful people that is going to serve him until he comes. There's a greater reward for those that do the things that God tells them to do. If you're slacking in your faithfulness today, it's okay to get on your knees and ask God to put you back where you were. He's just faithful to forgive you. Listen, he's faithful. Be faithful to him. This reminded me of Paul encouraging Timothy in 2 Timothy chapter 2. He let him know to remain faithful in your ministry and persevere. He also let him know the more you learn, you give to others, and they'll be able to learn to share the gospel. He told him endure hardness as a good soldier. And in order for him to do that, he must be patient and be willing to sacrifice, be willing to go through for Christ. We are all responsible for sharing the gospel to the lost and winning souls to Christ. You have to do it with patience and with kindness. God did not give us the word for us to sit on it, but to pass it to the next person. When it comes to being faithful, you cannot entangle yourself with the cares of this life. Just like a soldier, when their captain tells them to do something, they must do it. That's the same with us. When God tells us to do something, we have to lay everything aside and get on guard. Further down in 2 Timothy 2, he lets him know that if he lays down his life for the sake of Christ, he will live with him. He will reign with him. And, those that struggle or are faithless to God are still held by God. I mean, he's faithful to us. There are times where we're not faithful to him, and he's still faithful to us.